Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here in the mighty minitropolis of Marne, Iowa at Baxter Cycle, and look what they have rolled out for us today. This beautiful motorcycle is the new Triumph Tiger 850 Sport, and we are going to take this beautiful orange hot rod for a ride. Wahoo! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have to wait for it to arm itself. Look at that tachometer. Okay, well, let's take this hot rod for a spin. Wahoo! Let's start it off right. Oh, look at all the nonsense on the ground here. Marne had a big wind event here a couple days ago, so there were trees down everywhere. And you can see the remnants on the ground here. Oh, this thing has torque. Torque, I love it. Speedo in the center. Right below that, a gear indicator. Tack left and right. Fuel gauge, heat gauge. Let's do a little spin test. It's kind of got a gravelly feel to the engine. I've heard that before. It's got the 240 crank or something like that, T-plane crank, I believe they call it. This bike has a 61 and a quarter-inch wheelbase. That's 1,556 millimeters, so it is a little long. Boy, is that smooth. You know, I called it gravelly just a second ago, but amazing. So it's an inline 3-cylinder, 888 cc's, the famous 888. It's 84 horsepower, 60 foot-pounds of torque. That's 81 newton meters, I believe. Almost full torque at about 3,000 RPM. She really bites. Wow, that's very nice. You know, we got a bunch of people up here, so we're going to turn early today. I think we can make the turn here. Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it? We did it. Wahoo! I love it. This is a great motorcycle. Handling on these is superb. I've ridden the 900s, the same bike, just amazing. The suspension's a little different. This has got Marzucci's front and rear. Let's take it on the road and see what we can learn. There is 60. We're tacking right at 4,000, maybe a little below. I think you can adjust this up and down. There's all the way up. You know, that really makes a difference. Can you hear that on the sound? It's quieter in my helmet for sure. I like it, and it's not obtrusive. It's still down low enough that it doesn't interfere with my line of sight in any way. So the seating position, I'm straight back, leaning forward. My legs are running down from my hip to my knee. My knees are lower. My heels are behind my knees. I do have to reach to the bars slightly, but the bars also reach back. Not too bad at all. It's kind of an aggressive seating position, but it's not super aggressive. I could sit like this for hours, I think. It's a very wide, comfortable seat. I've also heard the back seat is very comfortable. Boy, she holds the road tight. Very good suspension. I like the way that feels. Marzucci's front and rear. I can't remember the diameter. I think the front ones are 45 millimeter inverted forks. The rear is a Marzucci monoshock, and that is adjustable both for preload and I think dampening. There's a knob on the side. We'll look at that when we get to the park. Hey, we got half a tank of fuel. Maybe it'll take us a while to get home. This thing is just a hoot to ride so far. We are at Iowa's busiest intersection and not a car to be seen. What the heck is going on today? Wow. The handling on this bike so far, I would say, is absolutely superb. A little bit I've rode this particular model, and I've ridden the 900s many times. This is just amazing handling. The balance is excellent. You sit in a very good spot. Center of gravity is incredibly low for a bike like this. We're going to short shift because the bike's new. Wow, the engine is superb. The 888 is an amazing engine, and I can see why it's just amazing, just fabulous. I love the way it feels. It just always seems to have torque right where you want it. All right, so pushing it around. In the garage, it is a tall bike, but it's not that tall. Seat height is 32¼ inches at 820 millimeters. Center of gravity is very low. The bike weighs 478 pounds. I think that's 217 kilograms. It moves around pretty easily. You do have to kind of keep on your watch out because it is a tall bike. Spinning around town, I absolutely loved it. You know, parking lot speeding up to 50 miles an hour, I think the thing just handles phenomenally well. And then it gets better when you get out on these roads. I can only imagine on the interstate, it's fabulous. Friends of mine that own these will take them on long rides, Colorado and such, and they just rave about how good they are. Fuel tank is 5¼ gallons. I think it's a 20-liter tank. Just a beautiful thing. This is just a beautiful thing. All right, a little confession here. I've been able to do a review on this for quite a while. I just haven't done it because I actually really like this bike, and it's one of the ones that I would actually consider buying. Let's do the old hill spin test here. Oh, we were going to do those backwards from now on, weren't we? Look at this. Just so tight. So beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. I love it. Excellent feel in the clutch. If you're ever in Marne, get yourself over here to the Derailed Grill right there. Good eats, good eats. It's a torque monster. So Triumph fueling, this is exactly the time to mention it. When I started riding new Triumphs, the first thing I noticed was how well the control of the fueling was. It's just phenomenal how good they work. You know, it's if a normal bike has 100 points, Triumph must have 300 points because it's just excellent, excellent. Very controllable. You're always in the right spot. I do not want to take this back. As a matter of fact, I would like to see this in my garage. This is a very tempting motorcycle. Clutch has got great field. Alrighty, if you are in the market for a new or used Royal Enfield, Triumph, classic British bike of any type, get yourself down here to Baxter Cycle in Marne, Iowa. Exit 51 and Interstate 80. They can help you out. They've got an incredibly large selection of Royal Enfield parts, apparel, accessories, everything right here in stock. Ordered online at baxtercycle.com. Order today, ship tomorrow. And they're also North America's largest classic British bike parts supplier. Amazing. They can help you out. Ask for Randy or Mark or Jeremy and tell them Fuzzy Biker sent you. Now that was fun. I was supposed to make a video on this the other day and I got caught in the rain, so today's the day, the backup day, right? But what a beautiful machine. Just gorgeous. I love this orange, this Baja orange. Isn't that just, I can't get enough of it. It's an absolutely fabulous looking bike in every way. And it's Triumph all the way, you know. It's got the style, the engineering, the high quality finish and everything. You know, every little piece is just, okay, so what do we got here? We got the famous 888, the 888cc, dual overhead cam, inline triple, liquid cooled. There's the pair of radiators. Interesting. Stainless steel pipe. The power plant has 11.27 to 1 compression, 84 horsepower, 60 foot-pounds of torque, that's 81 Newton meters, 6-speed transmission, 320 millimeter Brembo Style M monoblocks, 4-piston calipers. A monoblock means that this is one giant piece. Just making sure it's not hot. And that means that it'll dissipate heat quicker, more evenly. It's also stronger. It's just, and it's radially mounted, by the way. But isn't that just, that whole front end is just gorgeous. So Marzucci inverted fork, that is a 45 millimeter. The travel on that is 7.1 inches. That's 180 millimeters. Look at that. That is a load of travel for a street bike. I could not find ground clearance numbers, but it's, needless to say, it's probably 8 inches or so. It's going to be more than that travel. It's got the covering on here, this beautiful orange, to protect the fork. All forks should always be protected, I think, and this one has done a good job of that. Of course, since it's Marzucci, look at the fit and finish on here. You can feel that you got to get yourself down to Baxter Cycle and just rub your hand over these things. These bikes, the finish is just, everything is just right. Everything is just perfection, you know, beautifully done. Just every piece of this thing is just fabulous. Anyway, the front tire is 190/19. Check that out. And what I was going to say about it is, this is a kind of a on-offy tire almost, you know, look at it. And I wonder if this wouldn't be better served. I felt it handled just fine, but I wonder if it wouldn't be better served with a more street-oriented tire, because this bike, the handling is superb. I get it, it's ATV-ish or ADV-ish. You know, you might get a little quieter, a little smoother ride, a little better ride. There's the back one. The back tire is a 150/70/17, so 19 on the front, 17 on the back. We've got a Marzucci monoshock on the rear. The rear travel, I don't know if we can see it, there it is. The rear travel is 6.7 inches. That's about 170 millimeters. So the rear disc on this is a 255. Brembo again, single piston. So wheelbase on this hot rod, 61.25 inches. That's 1,556 millimeters. Seat height, 32.25 inches. That's 820 millimeters. And the seat can be raised. I don't remember how much, but it does go up some. The stock seat as it is. And you can probably buy a tall seat or a low seat for it. Fuel tank, 5¼ gallons. That's about 20 liters. So the dry weight on this hot rod, 423 pounds. It's 192 kilograms. The wet weight, that's with a full tank of juice, 478 pounds, 217 kilograms. And I was spinning around on this, and it felt a lot lighter than that. It had great handling, beautiful control, it felt like it had a shorter wheelbase. It just did everything like a much lighter motorcycle. It's hard for me to believe it weighs that much. That beautiful sound here is a 1948 Triumph T100 500cc parallel twin. Just really quick, it's got a 5-inch TFT. Well, we'll get into the top here in a minute. So the big things about this, I'd say right off, superb handling, incredible handling. I felt it just handled like a dream. It seemed to do everything just right. You know, these Marzuchis are just amazing. It oozes with quality from front to rear. Everything, you know, high quality engineering. Every little piece fits right. Everything is, you know, castings. Look at that pipe, the swing arm. Everything is just done right. Just done right. Like I said, oozes with quality. The brakes, now that alone is a reason to come test ride this bike. The brakes on this thing are they're like a gift from God. They're just so good, so beautiful. The feel, the handling, I mean, the way they did everything was just perfection. You know, this whole rig here, you know, the suspension, everything. It is just phenomenal, you know. So here it is from the front. I've got the windscreen all the way up right now, and it had great protection on the highway. You know, the headlights on these bikes have gotten smaller, but they've gotten brighter through modern technology. Just gorgeous. Got yourself a little beak here, secondary fender. You know, the fork covers. I love these end covers here over the radiator. You know, the color on the tank is just so well done. The main frame, the rear section is separate. You can unbolt this, replace it if you had to for some reason, accident, whatever. You can also remove the rear foot pegs pretty easily. Look at that. It's set up so you can put bags on it. Okay, so let's jump up here. Adjustable clutch lever, high-lows. Over here, the mode button, blinkers, and Triumphs always have the best blinkers. A joystick for the screen, the horn over yonder. Jumping over to this side, hazard lights up top, home button here for the screen, and the kill, run, and start switch on one rocker. It's fly-by-wire. It has 2 riding modes, by the way, rain and road. Beautifully done, I think. That's to me, that's enough. But this isn't just gorgeous through here. It still has a key. You don't have to worry about a fob. You know, it actually has a real key. We turn it on. Gas light, ABS light, engine light, oil light. Look at that dash. Isn't that just neat? Fuel gauge, temperature gauge, tachometers that swing out from the center out. Reminder for service in the center. Exterior temperature. Over here we've got clock. Odometer reading up yonder. This bike has 19 miles on it. Isn't that just amazing? Now there's all kinds of things you can do with this. Let's push the home button. And I'm not an expert on it, so I'm not going to even try to pretend I know what all these things are. So riding modes, that would be rain or road, bike setup, trip meters, all kinds of neat things. Coming over here to this button, the mode button. I don't know where the mode signal is. Okay, rain or road. I like it. I like it. Simplicity, you know, that's just what I need. It's a beautiful machine, my friends. Just an absolutely beautiful machine. So what would I do if I had this motorcycle? What would I do? I'd wear the tires out, and then I would put maybe a more road-oriented tire on it, because honestly, it's just way too nice taking the dirt and gravel. Other things I would do, I'd put hand protectors on. The mirrors I actually like. They're up and out. They're really close to line of sight. Weather protection was superb from what I could see. I'd put bags on it, of course. I'd have to have bags, at least one. I love it. I love it. Gorgeous. So if you're interested in a new or used Triumph, Royal Enfield, British classic bike of any type, get yourself down here to Baxter Cycle, ask for Jeremy, Mark, Randy, tell them Fuzzy Biker sent you. By the way, they got a great collection of accessories, parts, anything you can imagine, they've got it. Hey, they're waiting for you, my friends. Now, as I always say, it's a beautiful day. I'm going to go hop on one of my hot rods, that bike over there, and go for a ride. Y'all do the same. Wahoo!